2 children? Femi?
They say love conquers all. But would it survive finding out your future husband has 2 children the day before your wedding? Sit back while I tell you the story of Amanda. Before then, don't forget to like, follow, and share. Amanda had always believed in love. Not the loud, dramatic kind that burned fast and died quickly, but the quiet love that felt safe. She was the kind of woman people noticed when she walked into a room, not because she tried too hard, but because she didn't have to. Her beauty was soft, natural, and confident. Her smile made people feel at ease, and her intelligence made her stand out even more. She worked in a reputable consulting firm in Lagos, one of those glass buildings that looked impressive from the outside and stressful on the inside. Amanda was good at her job, focused, professional. She came from a home where values mattered, where her mother often said, "Marriage is not something you rush into. You must enter it with clear eyes." Amanda had admirers, plenty of them. Some were loud about their interest, others tried to impress her with money, promises, or connections. But Amanda was careful. She wanted a man who would fit into her life, not disrupt it. And then Femi arrived. Femi had just returned to Nigeria when he joined the company. Tall, smart, and composed, he carried himself with quiet confidence. He was focused, respectful, and ambitious. Unlike many men Amanda had encountered, he did not rush her, nor did he try to impress her with empty promises. Their connection grew slowly. It started with professional respect and turned into something warmer. Lunch breaks became shared moments. Conversations flowed easily. Femi listened. He understood Amanda's dreams and her desire for a simple, honest life. Amanda found in Femi what she had been searching for, a man who fit into her values, her plans, her future. He spoke about growth and purpose. He talked about marriage as something serious, something to be entered with intention. When love found them, it felt natural. Amanda chose Femi over all her other admirers. She chose him not because he was the loudest or the richest, but because he felt right. Her family approved. Her friends saw the happiness in her eyes. Even her mother noticed the calm that had settled over her daughter. The proposal came quietly, without drama, and Amanda said yes with certainty. Wedding preparations followed quickly. Lagos buzzed with activity around her. Tailors, florists, planners, relatives. Her days were filled with excitement, laughter, and hopeful prayers. Everything appeared perfect, but perfection sometimes hides cracks. Femi rarely spoke about his past. He avoided details about his life before Nigeria. Amanda noticed, but she did not push. Everyone had a story, she told herself. Everyone had things they preferred to leave behind. What Amanda did not know was that Femi's past was not behind him. Before returning to Nigeria, Femi had built a family with Binta. Their marriage had not been without challenges, but it had not collapsed. They had 2 children together. Responsibilities remained. Promises were still standing. Femi's decision to move back to Nigeria had been about business and ambition, not separation. But somewhere along the line, love complicated everything. Meeting Amanda changed him. Loving her made his silence heavier. Instead of choosing honesty, he chose delay. He told himself there would be time to explain, time to fix things. Time, however, was not on his side. As the wedding day drew closer, Amanda sensed a change. Femi became distracted. His phone demanded more attention. His smiles felt forced. Yet whenever Amanda noticed, she brushed the feeling aside. Love often required trust, she believed. The night before the wedding arrived quietly. Amanda's home was full of joy. Family members moved in and out. Her friends laughed and teased her about married life. Her mother watched her closely, offering gentle advice and prayers. When the house finally grew quiet, Amanda was alone with her thoughts. Then the message came. It was unexpected, simple, and devastating. A woman reached out claiming to be connected to Femi in a way Amanda never imagined. The truth was delivered without ceremony. Femi was not just a man with a past, he was a husband, a father of two. Amanda's world tilted. The room felt smaller. The future she had carefully planned suddenly looked unfamiliar. Every memory replayed itself, now carrying a different meaning. Across the city, Femi sat with the weight of his choices pressing down on him. The secret he had buried was finally uncovered. The truth he had avoided was now standing in front of the woman he claimed to love. Amanda stared at her wedding dress, its beauty now painful to look at. Love had brought her this far, but truth had arrived at the worst moment. And with only 24 hours left before the wedding, Amanda had no idea which path her life was about to take. The night moved slowly, as though time itself was unsure of what to do next. Amanda did not sleep. She sat on her bed, her phone resting beside her, the message still faintly glowing on the screen. The truth had arrived without warning, without kindness, and without apology. In a single moment, everything she believed about her future cracked open. 2 children, a wife, a life that existed long before her. The wedding was less than 24 hours away. Amanda tried to breathe normally, but her chest felt tight. She replayed every memory of Femi in her mind, searching for signs she had missed. His silence about his past, his careful answers, his sudden distractions. All the small things she had explained away now stood tall, accusing and clear. The house was quiet, but her thoughts were loud. She thought about her family, about the expectations, about the prayers that had been said over this marriage. She thought about the guests already on the road, the dresses waiting patiently, the vows she had practiced in her heart. And she thought about love. Love had brought her joy. Love had given her hope. But love, she was beginning to realize, had also blinded her. As the night moved slowly, Amanda gathered the courage to confront the truth. There was no point pretending, no point hiding from a reality that had already made itself known. Femi did not deny it. When he arrived that night, his face carried the weight of a man who had run out of places to hide. His silence confirmed what words no longer needed to explain. The truth spilled out in fragments. His marriage to Binta, the children, the life he had left behind without properly closing its doors. His explanation was full of emotion, regret, and confusion. He spoke of love, of mistakes, of not wanting to lose Amanda, but none of it erased the central fact. He had lied. Amanda listened quietly. She did not shout, she did not cry loudly. Her pain was deeper than noise. It settled in her heart like a heavy stone. She realized then that betrayal did not always come with cruelty. Sometimes it arrived gently, wrapped in affection and good intentions. The hours moved quickly after that. Family members began to sense that something was wrong. Questions filled the air. Whispers followed Amanda wherever she went. Her mother watched her closely, noticing the sadness behind her eyes. The wedding preparations continued around her, unaware of the storm brewing at the center. In another part of the world, Binta was also restless. Reaching out to Amanda had not been easy, but she believed the truth mattered more than comfort. Her marriage may not have been perfect, but it existed. Her children deserved clarity, not confusion. She had made it clear she was not fighting to keep Femi. She was already preparing for a divorce. She did not want him back. She only wanted Amanda to know the truth before her life was built on deception. Femi's secret had now touched every life involved. Amanda felt trapped between two worlds, the one she had dreamed of and the one she had just discovered. Canceling the wedding would bring embarrassment, questions, and disappointment. Going ahead with it would mean accepting a lie so big it could shape the rest of her life. She stood in front of the mirror, staring at her reflection. She barely recognized the woman looking back at her. This was not how she imagined the day before her wedding. Her heart ached, but her mind was becoming clearer. Marriage, she knew, was not something to enter with doubts this heavy. Love alone could not carry what truth had already damaged. Would she walk into a marriage built on a broken foundation? Or would she walk away from everything she had prepared for? Outside, the city of Lagos buzzed as usual, unaware that one woman's decision would change several lives forever. As the clock moved closer to midnight, Amanda closed her eyes and whispered a silent prayer, not for love, but for strength. By morning, the world would have an answer. The house was awake before the sun. Women moved in and out of rooms, carrying fabrics, trays of food, and quiet excitement. Outside, cars arrived steadily, one after another. The air was filled with expectation, music, and celebration, the kind that announces a new beginning. But inside Amanda's heart, there was only silence. She sat on the edge of her bed, fully dressed. The wedding gown was beautiful, carefully chosen, and full of promise. Yet the promise no longer felt true. The white fabric that once symbolized hope now felt heavy, almost accusing. Amanda had spent the night thinking and crying in quiet moments. Her thoughts replayed every plan, every assurance. Through it all, one truth stood firm, refusing to bend. Her phone lay beside her, silent now, but the words from the night before still echoed in her mind. Binta, Femi's wife. Not angry, not desperate, just honest. That truth changed everything. Amanda thought about how people would laugh behind closed doors, how some would mock her openly. She could already imagine the whispers. She was too proud. She wasted her chance. After rejecting so many men, this is how her story ends. That morning, a close friend had said it plainly. Going ahead with the wedding would save face. Walking away would make her the topic of conversation for months, maybe years. Her father had spoken to, a respected man in Lagos, influential, known, a man whose name carried weight in rooms. This is not something you walk away from, he had said, pacing the living room with restrained anger. Do you know what people will say? Do you know what this will do to our family? She is divorcing him anyway. Forgive him. Every marriage has complications. Her mother had said nothing. She had only watched Amanda carefully, her eyes heavy with concern, choosing silence over pressure. Those words sat heavily in Amanda's chest. It pressed against her resolve, urging her to endure, to smile, to stand, to pretend, just long enough for the world to move on. But deeper than fear was another feeling, clarity. In another house across the city, Femi was also restless. The weight of his choices pressed heavily on him. For the first time, he fully understood that love without honesty was not love at all. His attempt to hold two lives together had failed. The secret he protected had destroyed the peace he claimed to value. Back at Amanda's home, her mother sat beside her, watching her closely. She did not rush her, she did not pressure her. She simply waited, knowing that some decisions could only be made alone. When Amanda finally stood up, there was calm in her movements. Her eyes were swollen from tears, but her expression was steady. The fear was still there, but it no longer controlled her. She remembered her friend's advice. Go through with it, save face. So she did. The hall was full. Guests sat smiling. Music played. Phones were ready. Expectations hung thick in the air. When Amanda walked toward the altar, every step felt heavy, not because she was unsure, but because she knew exactly what was expected of her. The question was asked. Amanda paused. In that pause lived every fear she had wrestled with, every voice that told her to endure, every warning she ignored, every woman who had been hurt quietly before her. Then she spoke. No. The hall froze. Shock rippled through the crowd. Gasps followed. Whispers erupted. Some faces showed pity, others showed judgment. Somewhere in that crowd were men she had refused, watching, some mocking, some silently satisfied. Amanda stood still. She said she wanted a relationship that started with truth, not lies. She said she could not build happiness on another woman's pain. She said love should not require deception to survive. She chose herself. She chose truth. The embarrassment came, the mockery followed. The noise was loud, but beneath it all, Amanda felt peace. Days passed, the city moved on, stories faded, new gossip replaced old ones. But Amanda grew stronger. She returned to her life with clearer eyes and a steadier heart. She learned that walking away was not failure. Sometimes it was wisdom in its purest form. Binta moved forward with her divorce, closing a chapter that should have been addressed long before. In time, Amanda smiled again, not because the pain disappeared, but because it no longer owned her. She had chosen the right path, even when it was the hardest one.